Inside Mercer Basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman and your host Rick Cameron. Brought to you by Wild Wing Cafe.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Wild Wing Cafe. We're here once again to talk Mercer Basketball with Mercer head coach Bob Hoffman. And Coach, the road trips are slowly winding down, but as we get toward the end of the season, they have been good road trips, which included this past weekend going to USC Upstate and then into the mountains for ETSU. Yeah,
it was a great weekend for our team. Our guys performed at a high level. Bud Thomas went off in the first half, had 6 threes, found different ways to get those shots. They started zoning us, which we thought they might, but it was some of those things that they have not done very much of during the season. And Bud stepped up, our guys found him, he continued to find shots, even banking one in at the end of the half, which was a tremendous blessing for our team to be able to go into halftime with the lead that we had on the road.
Absolutely, Coach, and momentum, even if it was a bank three, the fact the guys had that adrenaline lift headed into the dressing room, and you certainly needed it going into that game. We all know that Torrey Craig, one of the premier players in the league, and boy, you did a great job defending him, but he still found a way to hit a few shots. He's an amazing player.
He has logo range normally, but he had half-court range that night. I mean, he was shooting it deep and often, and he got going in the second half. We didn't have many answers. The only way you can keep him from scoring is not let him catch the ball. And we tried to do that some, but we didn't do it as well as we needed to. He is a terrific talent, and he showed it again in that second half.
Very important win there on Thursday night, a late night Valentine's game, and then it was on to Johnson.
Late night.
Very late night, especially for you and I.
Late night, yeah.
Then it was
9 o'clock start.
Then it was on to the mountains and Johnson City, and got off to a great start first half against ETSU, only allowing them 13 points the first half.
Yeah, it was a great defensive effort from all our guys. We played a lot of players. That first half on Saturday, when you play 2 games within 48 hours and travel like we did, I think it's always important to try to get more rest than normal, and our rotations went a little longer. And we had everybody stepped up and made play after play to get us to the halftime with some separation, which really ended up being what we needed to be able to finish that game.
Coach, we've talked about many times this team that you currently have with the great run we had last year, the valuable experience that was gained. When they cut that lead down to 3 points, I think a team with younger experience might have folded, but your guys have been in tough situations on the road and eventually still won that game in double figures.
Yeah, it was a loud, boisterous crowd. They were excited about supporting their team, as they always are. That's a big arena. I don't know how it gets that loud in there with as cavernous as it is, but it's amazing how they're able to pump up the volume and get it going when they start on a run and start making shots. And they've had several games in second halves against some quality teams in that building this year where they've scored over 50 points, and they almost got 50 on us in that second half. I thought Langston Hall was kind of the calming factor. He hit a couple shots, and then Travis Smith was the closer, and he was 5 of 6 from threes and hit some big time shots, as he's done many times over for us in the 2 years he's been with us.
Now, just 3 Saturdays ago, there was a 5-way tie for first place. After the 2 road wins, we're on the way back home on the bus. Several of us are keeping up with Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast. Lipscomb won that game. As a result, now your team really has the crosshairs on their chest. You're where you want to be, but now it's going to be even harder to stay there in first place.
Well, no doubt about it. I mean, Lipscomb's coming in, still trying to finish the season, be in the tournament. They are not guaranteed in the tournament yet, so every game matters. They had a great win against Florida Gulf Coast on Saturday. They beat them twice now. That puts us a half game in first, but that doesn't assure you of anything. All that does is assure you that right now you're in the lead, but you got 2 weeks left, 4 games. You got to do your best job in the next games. These 2 at home are critical for us to have a chance to win the conference championship. You fought all year, you played all year, you've practiced for a year to get back to this point, and it's going to be important that we get off to a great start, have a great crowd, and just be ready to get after Lipscomb, because we've had some success against them recently, but he's a great coach. They have tremendous players. They're athletic and long. They got one of the best new big guys in the league that can shoot the ball from anywhere, has great hands, and he's rebounding the ball at a high level. So we're going to have to do a good job to get it done. One of the Smith brothers had 30 on Saturday, and he can really score the ball, and Devontae can get it going too. So Alexander's hit big threes for him.
All right, Coach, let's quickly go back to this past Saturday's game to pick up a milestone. Chris Smith, senior from Dublin, picked up a milestone and is, for the time being, etched in Mercer's history. I know he epitomizes the type of effort you want from your players, but share with us the milestone about Chris.
Well, Chris Smith came to Mercer as a walk-on, came on academic scholarship. He was on a state championship team at Dublin. Just a tremendous athlete. We encouraged him to walk on. He was a preferred walk-on. And after 2 years, we scholarshiped him. He stayed. Now he's on a full ride. He's played in how many games in a row? It's 119 in a row. It's unbelievable. He's played 119 games. He's an old man now. He's getting a degree in business. He's already got a job waiting for him as he graduates this spring. And he right now is the winningest player in Mercer basketball history. Of 100 years of basketball, Chris Smith now is the winningest player, and that's a tribute to him and what he accomplished in the midst of that, but the stick-to-itiveness that he showed, staying with it when he could have gone to junior college, he could have done other things, but he wanted to stay here. He wanted a degree from Mercer University, and we appreciate everything about what he's been able to do and help us accomplish as a team.
We do have some great players, and we're going to go to campus now and meet one of those. Let's go to campus and talk with Stevens Point, Wisconsin's finest, Jake Gollon. We'll be back in 1 minute with Jake when we return with more Inside Mercer Basketball.
For over 20 years, Mercer has relied on Forsyth Street Orthopedics.
Their team of doctors help keep our players on the court.
As a graduate of Mercer and a partner of Forsyth Street Orthopedics, we are proud to sponsor and take care of Mercer athletes. We work with Mercer Sports Medicine to return our injured athletes to competition as soon as their injuries allow and hopefully protect them from further injury.
Forsyth Street Orthopedics, getting better together.
Go Bears!
Well, we're back in Hawkins Arena talking today with another one of our players, junior Jake Gollon, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I went on Facebook a couple of days ago before a game and found out a pregame meal was being enjoyed here from my position here courtside. And Jake, I just never know where you'll show up next. Man, you do it all for this team.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of try to fit my role wherever necessary. And if it means I got to go eat my pregame meal and in the voice of the Bears seat over here on the sidelines, that's what I'll do.
All right, Jake, for those that, I know I heard you the other day speak to the Papa Bears and talk about some of the things you had to overcome to get to Mercer and the physical things you've overcome. Obviously, we could write a book because you've overcome so much, but in a short synopsis, tell us some of the things that personally you've had to really fight through to be playing Division I basketball today.
Well, I mean, obviously, I've at this point told the story about 100 times, and the points that really stick out were, you know, when I first got recruited, I signed to play in the fall with Coach Sloniker, who, you know, I had the pleasure of saying hi to and catching up with when we went to Georgia and played. He was released that spring after I already signed. So after that, I didn't really know what to expect. Coach Hoffman hadn't been hired yet. And when he was, he came up and watched me play, and so I didn't know if he was going to want to keep me on the team and if I was the kind of player he usually recruits and stuff. But he was. He said that he was glad to have me and came up. So at first it was kind of in question, and then in the meantime, through high school, I had one major injury on my foot playing football, and those injuries kind of kept up. You know, to kind of keep it short. Long story short, I ended up having a couple more surgeries here. That kind of I don't know if you ever had any serious injuries. A lot of people realize that injuries kind of build off of that. You tend to favor certain things, and then other things get broken or stress fractures and things like that. And so I kind of had some other injuries build off of that, and a couple more surgeries, and then finally one really extensive one, a reconstructive foot surgery that Dr. Anderson in Charlotte did. And that was a 8-month recovery. I was basically out from the end of the season until the beginning of the next one.
Wow.
But I haven't had any since, and I've had some issues with it, some pain here and there, but I haven't missed a game since my eligibility started. My third year as a freshman officially, I haven't missed a game yet. So I'm thankful to all the people that operated on me and helped me get through all that and stuff.
Jake, many of us refer to you as the heart and soul of this basketball team. We've got several great leaders on this team in various aspects, but you're kind of the heart and soul. You've been around the longest. What does that mean to you of knowing this team kind of evolves around the energy that you generate?
I mean, it's good. That's something that I've strived for, you know, ever since I got here, even as a true freshman. I mean, I've always kind of wanted to be a leader. It's something that I pride myself in, and if I can't do it vocally, then hopefully by example, I try to do the best I can. And I mean, you can say heart and soul, or some people like to say I'm the grandpa of the team. Either one, they're both kind of the same thing. People referring back to some of the old guys, Coach always brings me up because I know I've been here long enough.
I understand. All right, Jake, obviously we've come close a couple of years to winning this tournament, and I wanted to get to that question fairly early with you. You guys have got to be extremely hungry as we head into conference play, knowing March is coming, and our last chance out here on this floor to cut down these nets.
Well, I've been looking at these nets for a while now, kind of waiting to cut them down every time I come in and shoot. We finally got to hang a banner up there for the CIT tournament, but none of us are really satisfied. I mean, we all want to make the NCAA tournament. And when I say we all, you know, I mean the entire team, but you know, even more than that, from the very core, all of us together. You know, we really, that's all we want. You know, we almost feel a little bit like if we don't accomplish that, you know, that we'll all have a sense of disappointment in that. And I think enough of us have been on teams that have come up short in their goals, or have even experienced reaching their maximum goal, that they know what that feeling is like and want so badly to get there, that I think that our heart and our determination to get that done is what's really gonna push us through in the end.
Now, having said that, Jake, coming here from Wisconsin, when all is said and done and your Mercer playing days are over and folks back in Wisconsin say, Jake, other than basketball, what was good about going to Mercer University? What would you say?
Well, I mean, even above and beyond playing basketball. I mean, obviously that's a great part of it. But even the friendships and relationships I've made with my teammates have been the most phenomenal in my entire life. You know, that's even already I can tell before I'm even done playing. That's already more valuable to me than anything we could accomplish on the court. You know, these people will forget eventually. The names and faces of this team, and they might see the CIT banner and they'll remember that A team won it. But individually and even collectively as a team, people aren't going to know all the players. They aren't going to, maybe not even know the year that we did it. But the friendships and relationships that I've gained, that we've all gained as teammates and friends, that's going to last forever. And I think that's definitely the most valuable thing I've taken away from my experience here, and I'm really happy that that's happened. Final question: you even write a weekly column for your hometown newspaper. The folks at Stevens Point are keeping up at Mercer University. Well, you may be the only player in America that has his own weekly newspaper column. Tell us about that real quick. Well, when I first got here, I wanted to be an English major. That didn't end up working out, but I kind of kept writing as a hobby of my own, and some people have said that I'm okay at it. And just kind of randomly, you know, a guy back home wrote an article on me last year. And I joked to him about, you know, maybe letting me do some writing for him in the paper back home. And he emailed me before the season started and asked if I was interested in doing basically a weekly column / journal of following my season and kind of like the intricacies of a team outside the court too. And so I've really enjoyed that. Writing is something I like to do, and it feels really good to know that some of my stuff has been published. There's people that would die to have that opportunity to get their stuff published in a paper, and it kind of fell into my lap. So I'm lucky in that aspect. I'm really enjoying it.
And Jake, we've been lucky to have you at Mercer University. I've got a grandson who thinks you bring the sun up every morning. You're a real inspiration to those that watch you play, and as a Mercer student athlete, thanks for all you've done, and let's finish this season off strong.
Absolutely. Appreciate
Jake
it, Rick.
Gollon visiting with us today. Now we're going to head back up to the Wild Wing, talk more with Coach Hoffman when we return on Inside Mercer Basketball. Well, we're back at the Wild Wing Cafe. That was a great visit with Jake Gollon, and I know, Coach, you're just pleased with the leadership and so many things that Jake does for this team, both on and off the court.
Yeah, he's already graduated working on that master's degree in leadership. He already epitomizes that and what he does with our team. We're happy to have him. He's done a great job. He's been here forever, as long as I have, so that's a long time. He just doesn't have gray hair like me. He's been a special player for us.
All right, now let's go to campus and meet another one of our players, an outstanding young man from Colorado. Let's go to campus now and talk with Bud Thomas when we return on more Inside Mercer Basketball. We're back in Heritage Hall talking with another one of our Mercer players today, Bud Thomas from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Bud, I'm going to throw you a curve right off the bat. I didn't know that you were in the celebrity status. We go to Denver, Missy Franklin, Olympic gold medalist, and it's just like, best of friends. Tell us about knowing the gold medalist.
Yeah, you know, my stepdad is actually the athletic director at the high school where Missy went and I went, so he's obviously very close with her, and all the hoops she has to get through to be able to go to school, you know, her schedule is absolutely ridiculous. So him and Missy and her family are all great friends, so we've kind of got to know each other through that, and it's been a great experience, yeah, and I was fortunate enough she came out to watch us play in Denver, so it was cool. Now,
on a serious note, going back to Denver, where so many of your family and friends, as I looked across the floor there, it looked like to be an entire section of the Bud Thomas fan club. That had to be a great thrill for you to go on the road, and tell us what it meant to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously we didn't get the result we wanted, but it definitely meant a lot to me to just look up and see so many family members and friends come out and support, and, you know, it almost, since we did lose, you know, they were, to see their support regardless was even, it meant that much more, you know, and I'm so blessed to have all of them, and it was a great experience despite the outcome.
Now, the fact that you're here at Mercer in Macon, Georgia, a long way from Highlands Ranch, tell us, I think I know the story, but share with our folks how you ended up at Mercer.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of late. I was late in the recruiting process, and I took a couple visits, and I decided that, you know, I had the best opportunity to come in and make a contribution right away, and I liked all the coaches, what they stood for, and the players seemed great, and, you know, I thought this was going to be the best fit, and it turned out it absolutely was. You know, I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
All right, Bud, when we take to the floor against whatever the opponent, what do you feel is the best contribution that you make to assure this team playing well and winning ball games?
You know, I just like to base my game off of whatever the team needs me to do, and whatever specific timing, anything. You know, I think whether that be make a shot, get a rebound, make the open pass, get a deflection, you know, I think whatever I need to do, you know, I'm not going to go out, and I'm not the type of player that's going to score 25 a night by any means, but, you know, I still feel like I can contribute to our team, and in many different ways, and it might be a different thing every night, but whatever that is, I'm going to try and do my best.
All right, Bud, tell us something about yourself growing up in Highlands Ranch, something our Mercer folks may not be aware of Bud Thomas other than the basketball player.
When I was younger, I played soccer. I was a goalie in soccer up until about 7th grade. That's when it started kind of getting serious for both basketball and soccer, and I decided to go with the basketball route.
Yeah.
And you know, I really like that. I'm a huge Broncos, Nuggets fan.
Yeah.
All that good stuff, and it's been fun. You know, it's been a good change to come out here, but, you know, I definitely proud of where I came from.
Absolutely. Now, academics, Bud, in the classroom, what are you majoring in, and what do you hope to do one day?
I'm a finance major, and I hope to do some sort of business in the stock market, whatever. I'm really kind of intrigued by that, and would love to be able to do something. I'm not exactly sure what, but something in that aspect.
All right, now having lived in the South a couple of years now, is there something that you've latched on to, maybe a new love of the Southern cuisine or something? What would you tell the folks back home about living in the South for a couple of years?
It's been great. You know, it definitely took some getting used to, but it's been a great experience, and the sweet tea is great. We don't have that up in Colorado, so I've definitely gotten used to that, and my family has too. You know, when they come down to visit, they definitely get the sweet tea, and it's been great to meet so many people, and the Southern hospitality is absolutely real, so it's been great.
All right, Bud, let's talk goals and objectives the remainder of this season. From where you stand, a member of this very strong junior class, conference tournament just a few weeks away. Tell us what you feel this team can accomplish.
You know, it's been our goal this whole year to do nothing short of win the ASUN championship, and we're excited about that chance. You know, we obviously have it at home again this year, and it's a great opportunity for us. And we may not win every game. We know that we're not going to go perfect throughout the year, obviously. But when it comes down to that conference tournament, you know, we want to be playing our best basketball at that time, and we think we have a great chance to get to the championship and win it, like it's been our goal this whole year.
All right, Bud, final question. When your playing days are done and 5, 10, 15 years from now and folks ask you about coming to Mercer and playing basketball, what will you say that you cherished most?
I'd definitely say just the camaraderie with my teammates, and being able to win the CIT championship and get a ring and kind of be a turning point for this university. So many people have come up to me and my teammates and saying how we've kind of started turning things around here with all the new construction and bringing in the football team, and it's kind of expanding Mercer, and to be part of a team that has been so widely publicized for setting records and getting wins. That's something that's very special and not a lot of people get to experience. So.
All right, Bud, you've been a real great addition to Mercer University, a great student athlete. We've enjoyed watching you play. Got some more games to go. Let's finish strong this year.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Bud Thomas, our junior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. We'll be back in just a minute to rejoin Coach Hoffman at the Wild Wing and talk more inside Mercer basketball.
So here's the game plan. Rush into the Wild Wing Cafe and tackle one of our new steakhouse burgers. 100% Angus, 100% great. It's an all-star lineup that can win you tickets to the biggest games of the year. Where?
Back at Wild Wing Cafe in Macon, Georgia, talking inside Mercer basketball. Coach Bud Thomas is known for many things in Colorado. I'm sure a lot of folks realizes that one of his former classmates was Missy Franklin.
Yeah, she was at the game when we played up at Denver, and he talks to her often. The guys kidded him about her being at the game, but that's a claim to fame. He also was the two-time Gatorade Player of the Year, so he's no slouch himself in the state of Colorado.
All right, Coach, big weekend coming up for us this weekend. It's our last home stand of the regular season. You mentioned Lipscomb a little bit, but these guys, I remember at the end of last year, they were short in number of players, not only in the regular season, but when they came back for the tournament, yeah, we really had to strap it up because those guys are going to come after us Thursday night.
Well, Coach Sanderson's one of the best coaches in the country and in our league. I mean, he comes from great lineage. His dad was a great coach at Alabama, and he's been around basketball all his life. He's won everywhere he's been. He's been at Lipscomb for a long time now, and what he has done is he's put together a team that's young and they're hungry. They're getting better every week. They beat Florida Gulf Coast, like I mentioned earlier, twice. They're the only program so far that's swept them at this point. And it's going to be a battle because they got shooters, they got bigs, they're athletic. They run a lot of different defenses. They're going to change defenses on us. We're going to have to be ready for that, and that's something we've been working on, getting prepared for. But nothing easy about that game. We need everybody we possibly can to be in that gym and be excited about supporting the Mercer Bears in the middle of this conference championship run.
Now, you as coaches refer to the bigger players as bigs. Well, they really have the big. It's Stephen Hurt.
Yeah, he's a big player. But he's got great touch. I mean, he can shoot out to 15 feet. He rebounds the ball. He's 6'10", 280. He can deliver a blow in the post. The great thing for us is we have a couple big guys ourselves. They're not quite to his level of girth, but they have everything else as far as the size, and we're going to run two at them, maybe three. TJ will get a little run in there too, and I think at the end of the day we feel like that'll really help us.
And then another big day on Saturday, doubleheader, Northern Kentucky's first trip to Hawkins Arena. Our women, who are having a phenomenal run on their own, 12 wins in a row. Your guys, 6 in a row. Should be a great doubleheader as we welcome the Norse in for their first trip to Macon. Yeah, we had a difficult time at their place. They have 2 wings that might be as good as any of the wings in our league. They're going to be playing for money, be professionals somewhere after they're seniors. I'm thankful they are. We want to play them one more time, and their coach has done a great job. They spread the floor. They make you guard every possession. They play a lot of 5-out motion. So we'll have to make sure that we're ready to guard and we're ready to take away some of those 3-point shots that they hit at their place that really hurt us. Now, Coach, we know we still have the conference tournament to go in our house, but it is senior day. You've talked a little bit about Chris Smith, your other Smith, Travis Smith. It's always bittersweet on senior day knowing that these guys are playing their last regular season game, but I know there's some things you'd like to say about Travis.
Well, Travis has been huge. As I mentioned earlier, he's been a big shot maker. Last year when we made the run and we won the collegeinsider.com, he had big shot after big shot, he had big free throw after big free throw. He's continued that this year, even to a higher level, and he's our leading scorer right now. But beyond that, I think the growth of who he is as a person, how he's developed. He's from a great family, went to a great high school, and he's been around great people, and it's just amazing the maturity level of what's happened in the last 2 years. And you know, one of his best friends is one of our GAs, Johnny Clark, and he'd probably take credit for that, but we're going to take credit that Travis's family and who Travis is really a development of what he's done and what he's started to look toward, not just seeing basketball as basketball, but seeing the whole vehicle of basketball, of being able to change who he is as a person. And I've been excited to see that for him. I mean, it's been a blessing. I mean, it's great to see him hit shots,
yeah,
but it's even better. And we talked about actually in the Virgin Islands a little bit as a staff and in front of the players how impressed I was with what's come about in his life, and I continue to be impressed by that.
Coach, 2 home games, 2 road games, that wraps up the regular season. Everything, we've talked about it many times, but the goals that this team set preseason are there for us. Certainly a lot of pressure because of being currently in first place with everybody looking up to us, but certainly the maturity and experience that your team gained last year and the type team you have that on any given night somebody can step up will work to your advantage.
No doubt about it. I mean, I think the pressure's been on us for a while now, so I don't know that it has changed much. When we were preseason picked to win it, and everybody was talking about you're already in the tournament, you're already this, you're already that. You know, it's a long season, as I mentioned early in our tip-off banquet when George Gervin was here, that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and we got to be consistent. We got to have balance about how we approach things, because that's the way a season is. And sure enough, that's happened, and we'd like there not to be any more downs. We like for them to continue going up, because we've had a great run here the last 3 weeks, last 4 weeks, doing amazing things. Our team has, when we had kind of a rocky beginning in conference play. But it's going to be a tough 4 games left, and we got to be on our best behavior, no doubt about it, against teams that want to come after us every night in those last 4 games.
And by the time this show airs, it may be that we've played these 2 home games, but the conference tournament, March 6th through 9th, Mercer men and women will be seated in that tournament. It should be a fabulous 4 days of basketball.
No doubt about it. We'd love everybody to come out, help support us. Lady Bears, unbelievable. We don't call them Lady Bears, but I do. And we can call them whatever, but Coach Gardner is an unbelievable coach, and their players are making shot after shot to win games. It's fun to watch how they've won all those games, and our guys are doing the same thing right now. We need to finish strong and find a way to get some championships on March 9th in Macon, Georgia at Hawkins Arena.
That pretty much sums it up, wraps up this week's episode. We'll be back next week and preview that ASUN tournament when we're back next week with Coach Bob Hoffman with more Inside Mercer Basketball.
Oh!